Hello, good afternoon, and welcome to Football United TV. I'm Matt King, your host, and we're going to talk today about the derby, the big derby of the 90s, anyway, Man United, Arsenal at the Emirates. And today I got fan of Arsenal, my man Dan, my bro as well. How you doing?
Hello, mate. You all right?
Yeah, good. You?
Yeah, not too bad, mate. Not too bad.
Good. Up for tomorrow then? Yeah. What you think?
No, I'm not.
Why? What? Because of what happened on
I'm really,
Thursday?
I'm really not looking forward to it, just because obviously you are riding a wave. Manchester United are riding a wave under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer at the minute. Great win in Europe midweek against Paris Saint-Germain. I'm sure we might talk about that a little bit.
Yeah.
We had a terrible loss on Thursday in the Europa League away at Rennes. And yeah, I think you'll come and you'll beat us, in all honesty.
Yeah. I guess just because of the high that we're on at the moment. Would you say?
Sorry, I said I think you're going to come and you're going to beat us tomorrow.
Yeah. Do you think that's because of the high that we're on at the moment, just because of morale, or generally because we got the better team?
I think on paper you have a better team, because I think if you're looking at what is United's weakness, it is the defence, and actually your defence is probably in a better state than our defence is. Although I would say Socrates and Koscielny have built up a nice partnership, but we do miss Bellerin, and we haven't got the best left back at the minute. I mean, Monreal's all right. Kolasinac isn't a left back; he's a left wing back. For some reason, he can't defend, but he's good going forward. But I'd say, yeah, on paper you've got the stronger team. The morale's better, but and De Gea always plays well against Arsenal. Always plays well against Arsenal.
I guess because mainly you probably put a lot of shots onto our goal anyway, and he is obviously like the best goalkeeper in the world. So
I mean, at the minute, he's one of the best shot stoppers in the world, if not the best shot stopper in the world. And I hark back to that. Was it last season where we had, like, I don't know, it was a ridiculous amount of attempts on goal, and we completely dominated the first half, and you still beat us. And you know, you'd hear people say, like, I could imagine Mourinho saying something like, "The better team lost today." Of course, he would never say that about United, but like that day, we played the better football. But actually, football's about winning the game. It's about putting the ball in the back of the net, and we failed to do that.
True. I mean, looking back on the Premier League game that you had last, obviously against local rivals Tottenham, it looked to me like you probably did deserve that game, and that was away. So that, to me, looks like you got strength anyway in the Premier League. But after what happened with Rennes the other night, it kind of looks like that could be flattering.
Yeah, I think Rennes was unlucky as well, because I think the sending off changed the game completely. But still, I think if you go down to 10 men, you've just got to change your tactics. And even when it was 1-1, when it was 2-1 away, it's still a good result. It was that third goal that was the killer, which is going to make our next game really difficult. And it's tricky at the minute because we haven't really got anything to play for. We've got to play for the Europa League and a top 4 finish. There are 2 trophies this season. You've got Champions League, FA Cup, and the top 4 finish to play for. You have that one more thing. So what do you think? So how do you think you've been the last couple of weeks? Can we talk about the PSG game? Because I saw the highlights.
Well, what do you want to know about that? Because definitely, to sum it up, pretty much in my eyes, that was probably one of the best results we've had away in the Champions League for a very, very long time.
Would you say the best since
Turin,
in Turin? Yeah, okay.
And that definitely, I think, that boosts up our confidence to come away against you, because, again, we haven't lost away under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. This is the 10th game away we could win on the bounce. So yeah, I mean, the odds are stacked up on us, I guess, really. And I'm really glad that we won on Wednesday, because that really gives us the lift to actually come and do a double on you.
Yeah, and what's more frustrating is when we came to Old Trafford and Mourinho was still in charge, and you were a team that was on its knees. Basically, you were there for the taking, and we still couldn't beat you. That game, we should have absolutely beat you, but we were still the creators of our own downfall. We didn't beat you, and it was a draw. And then you beat us in the FA Cup. And you I think you showed a lot of teams who hadn't quite sussed out Emery's tactics yet how to beat Arsenal. That it was about fast counter-attack football. I have. Oh, sorry. I wanted to say about the PSG game. So yes, it was a great result. It's never a penalty. Never, if that's the softest penalty.
Go on, tell me why you think it wasn't.
Because he's not throwing his arm towards the ball to block it. He's got his back to the ball, which he shouldn't be doing anyway. If you're going to be a defender and you're going to block the ball, do not turn your back on the ball.
Yeah.
I just feel like the ref had already made his mind up, and then the VAR guys went, "Oh, just have a look at this." And I don't know, he felt like the pressure. Look, if it was Arsenal, I'd take it all day long, and if we scored the winning penalty, absolutely. But you can't, it isn't. But that's the game, and that's the way it is at the minute. But look at the derby last week, Arsenal Spurs. Both those penalties weren't penalties, really, and that wasn't VAR, but they weren't penalties. There was
they weren't. Do you think maybe VAR would have made that game even more interesting? Maybe because they'll obviously have that next year anyway, and if that would have been the VAR, that would have been. Would you said they wouldn't both been not given?
I don't. So if you go, we'll work backwards. Aubameyang's penalties, no way. The contact's so minimal. Would VAR give that? I don't know. I don't know. There is contact, but it's so minimal, and I felt like he was already going to ground.
I think that's the problem, isn't it? It's knowing what scale of the accusation is of the tackle or the handball, like you say, can be deliberate, or is a minimal actually against the rules, or because if you're still doing something, even if it's to a minimal or on the larger side of the scale, should it matter?
No, and doesn't it all just come down to personal interpretation? We can have VAR, but it's then on the referee, and it's down to his interpretation. So, in a theory, the rule book only matters for certain things, but when it comes down to stuff like tackles, if a referee feels it's malicious, then he'll give a red card, yellow card, or whatever he feels is right. It's just really tricky. So VAR has obviously been brought in because of lots of I mean, if we're gonna obviously the biggest one is probably, from my mind, Thierry Henry's handball against Ireland in the qualifiers.
Yeah.
The Euros, the World Cup. That would have been a big VAR moment.
And they would have gone through. Yeah.
Well, they would have at least gone to penalties.
Well,
Yeah. Goal the Hawkeye has been brilliant, and that was probably born out of Frank Lampard's goal against Germany, or the stage anyway. And that's been great, hasn't it? Hawkeye never doesn't get it wrong. The technology's there; it's very good. VAR, I just think it all still comes down to interpretation, because a goal is a goal. It either crosses the line or it doesn't. With VAR, I think it's still going to come down to personal interpretation. So if we go back to the Arsenal Spurs game, neither of them are penalties because Harry Kane's offside, but Socrates pushes him.
It does.
Socrates pushes him, which is stupid anyway, which annoyed the hell out of me. But then if you look at the sending off in that game as well, VAR may have given it because the ref gave it anyway. But then by the same token, Danny Rose should have got sent off because he when he's trying to put it in the goal, he stamps on Leno's chest. So VAR would have changed that game. There would have been a Spurs sending off earlier on, which then would have meant that Torreira probably wouldn't have been sent off because he made the tackle on Rose, who would have been on the pitch. So we've got all this to look forward to next season. But is it next season it comes in? I don't know when it is.
Start of next season, I believe. Yeah, it is.
I'm not really that. I mean, isn't there something about a ref making a decision and sometimes it goes against you, sometimes it goes for you. You either hate them or you love them. There is, I don't know.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, you got to look at the FA Cup game when Arsenal and Man United, the Dennis Bergkamp penalty, It's just sort of that thing. It just happens in football. Things can happen at the end of moments, and then it goes back your way again. Like it's just that's the love of football. I guess that's the whole point of it. So yeah, VAR could ruin it.
But that's it, because people worry about injustices happening. Like, for example, USA not qualifying for last year's World Cup because Panama scored a ghost goal which never went in. It was given, and you're like, I don't understand why the ref's given that. It's not cross line. So I guess it's for those sort of very rare moments. But then I know it's bad for the teams that it happens to, but doesn't that just add the drama to things? And at the end of the day, football is just a game, and sometimes we just take it way too seriously.
I agree. So what do you think the result will be on Sunday?
Tomorrow. Okay, so I fancy your lot to beat our lot. I mean, that's really pessimistic of me, but I think it will be 2-1 or 3-1 United, I think.
You gonna go a little bit more on that? Maybe give us some goal scorers.
Okay, so I think Lacazette will score for Arsenal because that'll be his. No, he's not on 6 because he didn't score against Spurs. But I've got a feeling Lacazette will score because I don't think Aubameyang will play because Lacazette still can't play in Europa League, so he'll need them for Thursday. So I think Lacazette will play probably most of the game up top on his own.
Didn't Aubameyang get a red card recently for something?
No, that was Lacazette got sent off against Bate Borisov in the Europa League.
Okay, yeah, that's right.
I didn't see it, but I think he lashed out or like an elbow. So he's got a 3-match.
That's right.
Yeah, so it was the away leg and the two legs against Rem. I think your goal scorers
won't be Lingard this time, of course. He won't be dancing on the.
Who?
Lingard won't be dancing at the Lingard Stadium, so it won't be him obviously this time.
Because he's injured.
he is, yeah. So Sanchez though, so you won't get him scoring against you either.
Well, no, he scored against us in the FA Cup.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so you've got them two doubtful. I don't know. I think. Don't know who did you say was going to score the next?
Well, it depends on the starting lineup, but I think you got to look at Lukaku and Rashford are in great form at the minute, and they're really looking like a nice pairing. They're weirdly complementing each other, but they seem like very different sorts of footballers, but they seem to be complementing each other. I'm going to say Pogba because I've got him in my fantasy Prem team. In fact, I'm so confident you're going to win tomorrow, and it's going to kill me, to be honest. I'll take it. Do you want
to borrow my shirt?
Mate.
Sound like you're coming to the side.
I'll happily take a draw tomorrow if that comes of it, but I'm so confident. I've taken all my Arsenal players out of my fantasy Premier League team, and I've just left the Man United players in. That's how confident I am you're going to win tomorrow, which is annoying.
Shouldn't want to admit that too much, but yeah, that's. I mean, that's wise. It's a wise thing to do. I applaud you for that.
What do you think? What do you think the score is going to be tomorrow? So I'm going to say Rashford, Lukaku. I don't know about the third scorer. Maybe Pogba. Don't know. And then I think Lacazette for Arsenal. I think 3-1. I know it's really pessimistic.
I was going to say 3-1 as well. To be fair, I've said that the other day.
To Arsenal.
To United. For a minute there, I was like,
no, but we can both be pessimistic. Yeah. I'll be pessimistic about my team. Now you can be pessimistic about your team.
I don't think I can be though, can I?
Because you're riding the wave, mate. That's why.
Because it's always at the wheel. How does it feel? It's not going bad. So I can't. To be pessimistic. To be honest, like De Gea the other night in the Champions League, like blew my mind. He actually made some bad fumbles, so I was kind of worried about that. I'm hoping that he'll be all right. Did you see that point where he punched the ball?
I didn't see those highlights.
He could have gone for a poo and come back.
Yeah.
And he just punched it. That's worrying. But I mean, it kind of is worrying. But I mean, I'm pretty sure he'll be all right.
This one moment, I'm sure he'll be absolutely fine.
He lost his bottle. He looked like he lost his bottle But that's the only pessimistic thing I had about the other night, really. Of course, he's like the world-class player, so I'm pretty sure he'll be all right. But other than that, nothing really. I mean, you got the youth team coming in as well the other night, and they look like they cruised through their debuts. You know what I mean? Against some.
Yeah. So who was this? I know this young kid was on the bench, wasn't he? Or did he come on for PSG the other night?
Came on for PSG.
No, for your lot against. Did he?
Against PSG, yeah. Greenwood came on and Gomez.
Do you know much about them?
Greenwood's amazing. He sort of reminds me of Rashford, mix of a bit of Ronaldo. So he's got that flair. He can dribble. He's very skillful, and he's got techers. He's definitely got techers. But yeah, he will be up there. I think he'll be starting either next season or the year after, because he's still 17 years old. So. But he's definitely someone to look out for in the future. I don't see a lot of that coming through with Arsenal, really, though. You know, like youthful players. Do you agree?
Well, I'll throw a little curve back at you. That's because two of them have gone out on loan. So I think we'll see the return next summer of Reiss Nelson, who's been smashing it up in the Bundesliga for Hoffenheim.
Okay, yeah.
And you probably wouldn't have seen him play because it was only really in Europa League. But Emile Smith-Rowe, first half of the season in Europa League, looks like a little worldie. He's got that sort of. He's like an attacking mid. He's got that sort of Wilshere, fearless, not afraid to carry the ball forward, excellent pass, good distribution, not a bad shot on him. So I think in him and Nelson, we've got two youth players that are coming through who will break the ranks maybe next year. We've had people still
haven't really had anyone since Ramsey, have you?
Iwobi.
Yeah. I hear from a lot of other Arsenal fans that's a 50-50 with him. Like, he looks like he could be that player, but then sometimes in certain games he just doesn't show anything. He's not there. He's non-existent. What do you make of that?
Yeah, I think those Arsenal fans who are like see him as a 50-50 is not quite good enough. Just take for granted that he's only 21, 22. He's still a young player. He's still learning his trade. And yeah, I watch games and I get slightly frustrated with him. But you got to remember, I think the problem is that those Arsenal fans that think that forget how long he's been. He's been at the club for years. Like, he's come through the system, and because he broke through the team into the first team 2-3 years ago, people just think of him as like a squad player, first team player. But you go, really, he's still a youth that's becoming a squad player. So I'm so optimistic for him. I think he's got real quality, and he's still learning his trade. And I think any Arsenal fans that have any doubts about Iwobi need to stand by him and just remind yourself he's still young. He'll come good, and
give him time. Give him time.
Yeah.
Give him game time as well. You know.
Oh yeah, and he has been getting it. Like him down the left, and Mkhitaryan down the right. Who, I'll be honest, Mkhitaryan, when we sold you Alexis and got Mkhitaryan, I was like, meh. And then I watched him play a few games, and I was still a bit like, I don't really understand why we spent all this money on this guy. But actually, since he's come back from that injury, he's really grafting. He looks like a different player at the minute. So it's so easy as a football fan to be critical of players and to like say they're shit, they're not good. Sorry, we've not sworn yet, and I've just thrown them. Right. They're not good enough. But they are. I mean, I don't know who I'd say in the United team isn't good enough. I mean, I'll say Phil Jones but mate, you said he's world class, mate.
Okay. He can be world class, but just leave the salmon boots at home or in a tin in the fridge. Best place for it, mate, on a sandwich, not on your feet.
I don't know if you can say he can be world class. I just think he can have high level performances, but generally he's an okay player. He's a squad player, and occasionally he'll have a really good game where he really raises his game.
But he won't get a look in now because, I mean, look how decent Smalling's playing. Yeah. You know, like he's even looking like he might even get back into the England squad eventually, possibly.
I don't like Smalling.
Just on the last month of games, since the Arsenal, I think it's probably since the Arsenal game where he sort of played a really good defensive game. and especially against PSG the other night, he stepped up big. He looked world class. I'm going to say that again.
Yeah.
But yeah, he that night he did look world class against PSG, especially against that Mbappe. I think it was the last few minutes, and it was like almost a one-on-one, nearly to go around the goalkeeper. Yeah. He just put that foot out that just took off enough. So yeah, like that's the battle there at the back now. Especially when you look at about 4 months ago, we didn't have a defence. We were looking for Koulibaly for about 100 million, and now we're all right. All right, though, I say. I think.
If you could pick your, all right, I'll tell you what we'll do.
Go for it.
Put injuries to one side. Imagine that none of your players are injured. If you're Ole Gunnar or yourself, who's your best starting 11 for tomorrow's game? Your best starting 11, like in the current squad.
Okay, right. De Gea, goalkeeper. I'd say left back Luke Shaw. In the centre, I'd have Lindelof. I'd have Smalling, just on form. Right back, I'd have Diogo Dalot. I'd have right midfield. I'd probably have Rashford. I'd put Martial on the left. I'd have Matic at central defence midfield. Pogba left central midfield. Herrera right central midfield. And who have I left out there? Lukaku on the right. No, Lukaku up front. Up front.
So you're doing a 4-5-1 is your preference for United?
Yeah, but the wing backs mainly, yeah. So it's a 3-5-2.
No, you said 4-5-1, mate. Because you said Shaw. You said Shaw. Did you say Lindelof? Lindelof, Smalling.
So yeah, Shaw, Lindelof, Smalling,
Dalot.
But they'll be like wing backs, yeah.
Can't have wing backs with a 4.
Yeah, but they'll be. What do you mean you can't have wing backs with a 4?
Because you need. Then they're not wing backs. They're just left backs and right. They're just full backs, aren't they?
Well, yeah, I guess so. But I think we played that the other night when we only had like one at the back.
Yeah, they're good at getting forward, but they're not wing backs. They're just.
Yeah, okay, I'll take that. Yeah.
Forward. But they did. But they've said that the Rashford, Lukaku. So you're not having Rashford up top with Lukaku like a 4-4-2.
Only I think because Lukaku recently in the box has been a little bit more better than usual. I just think that I think Ole Solskjaer sort of told him as well that he wants to see him getting more goals inside of the box, and I kind of think that he might take that on, especially for this game, and with Rashford as well on the right hand side because we haven't got Lingard, we haven't got Sanchez, and Lukaku, I feel can get fed a lot more better by Martial and Rashford. That's just what I feel.
Well, look, he's a different player this second half of the season. He's lost weight.
6 goals in 3 games, you know.
Yeah, he's looking strong. But this is again another thing when I've spoken to United fans who, for a time, were getting frustrated with Lukaku saying he's not good enough. I'm like, how can you say that about Lukaku? I'd love to. When he left Everton, I was like, snap him up. Someone, Arsenal, snap him up. Obviously went to United, but because he is good. He's definitely good. He knows what he's doing. He's a good striker. So you're gonna have a 4-5-1. See, I'd have against you. I'd have a 4-5-1 as well, probably. I'd have Leno in goal. I'd have, if there were no injuries, I'd have no, actually, would I? If there were no injuries, I'd have a 3-5-2. Leno, Kolasinac, Koscielny, Socrates, Holding.
All right, okay.
Not Mustafi. I hate Mustafi. He's useless. He's definitely one of the most useless players we've ever had.
I hear that a lot. I hear that a lot.
He's just such a liability, mate. He's such a liability. And
World Cup winner as well, you know. It's just strange, isn't it?
But do you know what's weird? I was listening to a thing the other week, and they reckon that as a kid, I think he was in his youth career, he was a right back who got moved to centre back. And you can see he's a right back because of the weird challenges he makes. Like he flies in when you don't need to fly in, when you just got to stay on your feet. So I'd be looking to sell him this summer. But yeah, I wouldn't even have him in my squad. I'd have him maybe on the bench as a backup. So I'd have Socrates, Koscielny, Holding, because I think Holding was looking great until he got injured. Then I'd have Bellerin as my other wing back. That's my 5. Then I'm going to have Torreira in my defensive mid role. What am I doing? 5. Oh no, I'm doing 3-5-2.
It's so confusing. Yeah, I got confused.
3-5-2. Sorry,
write it down somewhere. You got it.
3-5-2. So sorry, the Kolasinac and Bellerin are my wing backs. Got my back 3. Then I'd have Torreira. See, I'm confused already. I'll probably have Ramsey as my attacking mid. I might have Xhaka as a creative mid, or I might have Guendouzi just because he covers a lot of ground.
Yeah, I agree. He's a very good buy.
I'd have Aubameyang or Lacazette up top, and maybe if I needed a wide player, either Mkhitaryan or Iwobi. I don't even know how many players I've said there. I think I've gone well over 11, but yeah.
Oh yeah, you can't cheat, mate.
I'd have wing backs because I think defensively, as a
you
3
got the ref as well, wouldn't you?
Sorry,
you got the ref as well. He'd be playing for you, wouldn't he? Central mid.
Really?
You want him to be?
I don't even know who's reffing tomorrow. Do you know?
Do you know what? I don't actually know.
Should we have a look?
Have a quick look. Yeah, let us know if you can.
I'll just have a quick punch in on.
You usually like Mike Dean. He's the sort of referee.
We don't like Mike Dean. He sucks. He's a terrible. Let's have a look.
Mike Dean. Do you think it looks like Jasper Carrot? Do you reckon he does?
A bit, yeah, just like Jasper Carrot. Yeah, definitely.
I was going to say in drag, but he's not. Yeah.
Preview. What do I look at? No commentary. Overview. Overview might tell me. Oh no. Commentary. No. Oh no, maybe. Tell me the ref is. No, I don't know. There is a way you can find it out, but I can't find it on the app.
We'll find out anyway tomorrow.
4:30 kickoff. Ironically, Matt, I'm not even going to get to watch it tomorrow. So.
No.
No, I'm doing. I'm working.
Ah, okay. Well, you'll be checking it out, the scores. I'm pretty sure in between, won't you?
I'll have my phone on airplane mode until I get home. I'll record it and then I might watch it afterwards without knowing the score. I'm pretty good at that. Turn all your notifications off on your phone. Yeah, we'll see. I just haven't got a lot of faith anyway. So
we're going to go for 3-1. We're both saying 3-1. That's fair enough.
3-1, both saying 3-1.
Yeah. It's just how I feel about that. Yeah.
I don't think you'll keep a clean sheet then.
All right, just to make it a little different, I'll just say that I don't think it will be completely, but if I had to have a second guess of the result and I couldn't say 3-1, yeah, 3-0 would be it.
Right.
I don't think you'll get more than one, so I'll go with 3-0 just to make it a little bit more different.
Right. Shall I change? I shall just be biased and change mine. I say Arsenal 7. Man U -4.
-4. How is that new rules? Is it new FIFA rules? Is it?
I don't know. The ref.
Every time you get a throw in or something, or you kick the ball out, goes for a corner, you lose a goal.
Yeah, something like that. in all seriousness, I think. I mean, if I'm going to be optimistic, I'll take a draw. I'll take a 2-2 draw again. How about another feisty 2-2 draw like we saw at Old Trafford? There we go.
All right, cool. All right,
that's my fake prediction.
That's
my
cool.
Pessimistic one is that you beat us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, you 2-2 and 3-1 to me. All right, gotcha.
We'll see.
All right. Thanks very much, Dan.
That's all right, mate.
We'll maybe chat to you after the match on Sunday or something and see what you think about it afterwards, possibly.
Yeah.
We'll
right.
speak.
Cool.
And yes, from Football United TV, thank you very much, Dan. Catch you later.
Catch you later. Good luck tomorrow.
Cheers, mate. You too. You're going to need it.
Yeah, I know.